Hello and welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and today we're going to be reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, I'm really annoyed. I did an impassioned review in which I praised this movie, and I was completely respectful. And somehow they gave a copyright strike to my new channel, which is Hot Takes Tuesdays. And so I'm back on my old channel for this one video. So this is going to be, I think, a non-spoiler review for the first, because I want to herd the rest of my viewers over to this channel. And it's really upsetting that this got taken down, because I think I did one of the best videos breaking down why this movie works. And I'm not sure I can recreate it, to be honest. But I'll say this. Zack Snyder, from what I've seen of this film, and going back and watching BVS again and watching Man of Steel again, is an enfant terrible. He's a genius. There's no doubt about it. He's a visual filmmaking genius, an auteur. But having said that, there are some geniuses who have too many ideas, who have too big ideas, who go out of the box too much sometimes. And they need, guidance. They need to be brought back down to earth. They need to understand that not all of their ideas are brilliant. Yes, because they're capable of doing such great things, that does not mean that everything they do is great. And here is the story of Zack Snyder. This is the story of Zack Snyder and Zack Snyder's movies within the DCEU. What I want to say is, if people don't know me, I'm a Zack Snyder fan, but I don't like everything Zack Snyder does. I liked the Watchmen. I think it's one of the best comic book movies of all time. I like the BVS, even though Batman v Superman, that is, even though I think it's extremely flawed. I like Dawn of the Dead, certainly. But I think a lot of his movies do have some problems. They have issues, mainly around the storytelling, and being coherent stories, and also dealing and being respectful to the lore of certain characters, right? And this is where we get to Justice League. Justice League is incredible. It's an incredible experience from beginning to end. It is possibly in every way superior to Joss Whedon's Justice League of 2017. And I'm actually, funnily enough, in a weird way, I'm really happy that Joss Whedon, it's a completely different movie. It's a completely different movie. And I'm really happy Joss Whedon, a lot of his movie, it's the same scenes, but it's, the things are shot differently, and, the same story beats happen, but they're given a lot more time to breathe. But the thing about Joss Whedon's cut that's is that, I'm glad he didn't steal, especially the action scenes. I'm glad he really didn't steal them from Zack Snyder and filmed his own, because Now you get to see Zack Snyder's action in all its glory. And that's when Zack Snyder's a real genius. His action and visuals are just, they have no peer in the industry. I have never seen somebody in this industry able to come up with as imaginative, as creative action scenes. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not true. I mean, in the superhero genre. I'm not talking about in all genres. Like, if you talk about action in like other movies, other people, they're able to do action, but he takes the action of the greatest action movies and he puts it on the superhero genre in a way that no other people working in the superhero genre do. He comes up with such creative and imaginative ways to depict the abilities and skills of these superheroes. That goes from Man of Steel to BVS all the way to Justice League, and especially in Justice League. And then the second, his visual flair. His visual flair, that is completely of his own. I've only seen one film that even comes close to it, which is Sin City. This is a visual artist that creates images that are, they're just gorgeous. I was almost in tears. Watching some of my favorite heroes come to life, watching the Flash come to life and saying, yeah, that is how the Flash would do that, was incredible. It was an incredible experience. Now, I have to say that not everything about this movie I liked, but most of the criticisms I have are fanboy criticisms. They're criticisms of, creatively, I wouldn't have done that necessarily. I would have chosen a different direction to do that. But it's not criticisms that make the film itself flawed. If you see the distinction, it's not on a dialogue or cinematography or music or, my criticisms are, I don't think Wonder Woman would do that. But that's my opinion. His opinion is different, right? And even like in terms of the core of the characters, he's got the core of the characters right. And this is my thesis. Basically, I have a problem with Man of Steel. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful movie to watch. It's an incredible, in terms of the technical, it's a technical achievement and masterpiece in terms of the action. But that is a Dr. Manhattan movie. It's not a Superman movie. And therein lies the problem. Therein lies the issue with what Zack Snyder's movies have been before. And watching this movie, this is the first time, the very, very first time Zack Snyder decided, hey, you know what I should do? I should actually put the Justice League in a Justice League movie. And that's why this is so good. This is not a vindication of Man of Steel. This is not a vindication of the problems of BVS, even though I like Batman v Superman. This is not a vindication of them. This is a correction of them. And I believe that what happened, and this is what I was saying about geniuses, when you have a genius who's got too many ideas and they're all brilliant and he wants to stuff them all in one movie, so he doesn't allow them to, like each one like each one of those ideas a clear ability to shine, like he had in Superman, Man of Steel, and BVS. That is when you get a situation where you get an incoherent mess of a movie. Justice League had studio notes. It had people overlooking him, telling him, dude, no, Superman does not do that. And here we are, a beautiful movie. For the first time ever, I recognize Superman in a Zack Snyder movie. I recognize Wonder Woman in a Zack Snyder movie. I recognize Batman in a Zack Snyder movie. This is the first time. Before, you were doing with Man of Steel. Man of Steel was a Watchmen movie. Batman v Superman was a Watchmen movie. They dressed the Watchmen. They dressed Doctor Manhattan like Superman, and they dressed, Ozymandias as Batman. That was a Watchmen movie. It wasn't a Batman vs Superman movie. This movie is not a Watchmen movie. It's a Justice League movie. And it's the first time Zack Snyder has actually had the Justice League in his movie, and it improves every single freaking element of the movie, making it emotional, making it, you feel tingles seeing Superman, Wonder Woman, a Beast, Batman, Batfleck, seeing them all come to life. This is the first time even, and I'll say this, I'm not a huge fan of Ben Affleck as Batman, but this Batman here is, this is the first time I watched it, and I completely forgot I was watching Ben Affleck. And it's not because Ben Affleck's performance was not good in BVS. It's because Ben Affleck's Batman wasn't acting like Batman. And when you've got problems, and then there's the structural problems with Batman v Superman as well. So when you've got problems like that, you start noticing all the mistakes. You start noticing things you don't like more. And therefore, I was noticing much more Ben Affleck is playing Batman. This is Ben Affleck. This Batman, the whole way through, I completely forgot out of my mind that it was Ben Affleck. This is a tour de force of an achievement. And I want to shout out all of the actors were incredible. Henry Cavill as Superman. This is the first time we've seen Superman in a Zack Snyder movie, and it works. Gal Gadot, and he was a fucking beast. There are problems I have, and I will do that in the spoiler review. There are problems I had with the depiction of Superman, but not many. I mean, it was, his scenes with Lois Lane. Shout out to Amy Adams. She did her thing. This was the Lois Lane I've wanted to see out of Amy Adams since the jump. She started being really good in BVS, but, then at the end of the movie, she turned back into that blubbering mess that was in Man of Steel. Or that, damsel in distress that was in Man of Steel. This is the Lois Lane I've wanted to see. And the scenes between Superman and Lois Lane are heartwarming in this movie. Gal Gadot is the queen of the Amazons. She literally may well actually be the queen of the Amazons. Perfect. Almost pitch perfect in this movie. Yeah, she's an Arnold Schwarzenegger type of actor, right? She's just got all the charisma and charm in the world. So even when, it doesn't feel, the thing is, right, about Gal Gadot is she's so close to being like the Wonder Woman character in real life, so that when she actually says something really Wonder Woman-y, it just comes off as genuine. It's not like she's acting, because when she's trying to act, it's not that. It can be ugly at times. But most of the time, because Wonder Woman is so close to who she is, and she's just such a charming person, it makes Wonder Woman shine so much. And there are a few problems I have with the Wonder Woman character as well in this movie. But again, they're more fanboy critiques. It's more like nitpicks. Like, I wouldn't have done that. But all in all, the core of the character, who the character is supposed to be and what she's supposed to be symbolized, is in this movie. Batfleck did his thing in this movie. This was Batman. This is how Batman's supposed to roll in this movie. In fact, I'll say this. The only part I didn't like of this movie, and this is why I'm saying that the studio notes really helped shape and restrict Zack Snyder and get all of his best ideas and put them on screen, and why the studio were such idiots that they babysat Zack Snyder, got him to do this great work, his best work ever, and then completely dismantled the movie and said, "Oh no, we're going to scrap that and do a completely different movie," is beyond me. I think they are insane. They lost themselves a hell of a lot of money. You could have put this movie as a 3.5-hour movie, I think, comfortably. You could have cut enough to make it a 3.5 movie, and this would have made $3 billion or $2 billion. This is better than Endgame. This is better than Infinity War. And anybody telling you, any critic telling you that this is not a good movie, they're lying to themselves. They have hatred in their hearts. I don't know what their hatred is. Maybe it's for Zack Snyder. Maybe they're jealous. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're upset that they were wrong. You know, I was wrong. I thought this movie was going to be good, but I thought it's going to be the same. Oh God, Zack Snyder doing these dark takes and Superman doing these dark, and I thought I'd like it, you know, for the action, for the spectacle, but I like this for the heart of the movie. And I'm telling you, that heart came from the you know, them saying, look, you know, and this is what Warner Brothers has to do from now on, seriously, because Patty Jenkins is a great player. Zack Snyder is a great player. They're both fucking excellent filmmakers. James Wan is a great player. He's a fucking excellent filmmaker. They need to start making some rules for these characters and how they ought to be depicted. Yes, let the director have creative freedom, but if you see things that you know are going sideways about these characters, jump in nicely, as nicely and politely as possible. Tell them, look, I don't think people really want a Superman who acts like Dr. Manhattan, who will watch a room full of people die when the bomb goes off in BVS and just stand there as if, you know, it's kind of indifferent to him, as if the mere presence of ants, you know, the ants that are humanity to him, just doesn't really concern him that much. That's not Superman. And the thing is, the problem is, if you're going to make a Dr. Manhattan Superman movie and it actually makes the movie better, then fine. But the mistakes that Zack Snyder made in Man of Steel and in Batman v Superman by not making Superman just Superman like he does in this movie actually made those movies worse. They were the problem with the movie. Pa Kent saying, maybe I'll let somebody die, made you emotionally disconnect from that film. A lot of people, maybe some people could still stay with it, but a lot of people became emotionally disconnected from that movie, from Pa Kent saying things like that. Pa Kent smashes it. In this movie, we finally get the Pa Kent and hearing the Pa Kent that we wanted from the jump. And of course, you know, Jor-El is still holding it down, telling him, you're going to help humanity walk into the sun. This is the Superman we needed. And as for the rest of the cast, shout out to every single parent and I mean even Amber Heard, every single parent supporting character. J.K. Simmons was probably the weakest of the supporting characters as Commissioner Gordon, but every other single supporting character, I've got to go through this. So first of all, Flash, Ezra Miller, I don't care what anyone says. I've said this from day, even from watching the Josh Whedon cut. first of all, Josh Whedon isn't to blame. Josh Whedon, whoever told Josh Whedon to put this down to 2 hours, they're to blame. That was to blame for the mess that was, because most of the shots and most of the stuff that's in the Josh Whedon film is actually just in the Zack Snyder film. But Zack Snyder knew how to complete those scenes to make them much more epic than Josh Whedon did. He's a better filmmaker, period. Period. A visual filmmaker, at least. Storytelling. And again, let me shout out also to Chris Terrio. One of the things I said, this was me, I said, Man of Steel, the writing is problematic. In BVS, the writing dramatically improved, but there was still a layer of bullshit. And that layer of bullshit was David fucking Goyer, the Ghost Rider. David Goyer. Yeah, I get it. He wrote Batman Begins. He did not write The Dark Knight. It was him and Christopher Nolan's brother. Same with Dark Knight Rises, 2 fucking brilliant movies. The only good movie David S. Goyer has ever written is Batman Begins. The rest of those movies that David S. Goyer fucking did were trash. Like, okay, sorry, I'll give him Blade as well. Blade and Batman Begins. The rest of his movies, absolute garbage. And he's a bad writer. He's got great ideas, especially for comic book movies. What you always need to do with David Goyer is basically let him write down the ideas and get other writers to execute on those ideas. And this is bloody hell. This movie, I'm gonna just Chris Terrio, basically. Yeah, Chris Terrio. This is his writing all through, and it shows. It's magnificently written. And I can tell everything I liked about BVS, everything I was saying, you know what, I really like that element, the philosophical, the intelligent, the political thriller element of Batman v Superman. Everything came from Chris fucking Terrio, and he's a great writer. All of the Lex Luthor lines that I picked up on, it was Chris Terrio. Chris Terrio, he has to get a shout out, because again, Chris Terrio's best instincts overcame some of Zack Snyder's worst instincts. And proof of that is that the only bit of this movie that is bad is when Zack Snyder had full reign, and that is the last 10 minutes of the movie. And we'll come back to that in terms of restoring the Snyderverse. No. He can't be put in control of the DCEU. He needs to be one of the players. He's a genius. He's one of the best players in the game. He's like a queen or a castle. He's one of the best, most powerful players that DC has, but he cannot be in charge of the whole DCEU. No. Because his worst impulses are in that last 5 minutes of the film, which completely lost me. So back to my shout outs. Shout out to Ezra Miller's The Flash. People have been hating on this man. I've been telling them, I don't know what you're talking about. They gave The Flash Barry Allen's origin, which is the best Flash origin, with Wally West's personality, which is the most. I like Barry Allen's personality, but Wally West has a more commercial appeal as a personality and a way to separate him from the rest of the Justice League, right? And this Flash is fucking amazing. He's incredible. The Flash in this movie, I already thought he was quite good, except he was made to say all these stupid Josh Whedon style jokes in the Justice League from 2017. This Flash is fucking incredible. And the way Zack Snyder creates the movement of Ezra Miller's Flash is fucking amazing, and the performance by Ezra Miller is amazing. And they've hated on this guy. I don't know why. I didn't even in the fucking Josh Whedon version, he wasn't that bad. And everyone's like, oh, he's playing Wally West, he's not playing Barry Allen. So the fuck what? So the fuck what? And I have to admit, I think a little bit of the hate towards Ezra Miller, tiny bit of homophobia, in my opinion. Just a little bit. He wears dresses, he wears this, that, and the other. People don't like him, think he's a bit too much of an SJW or whatever. And they attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked Ezra Miller. And it was out fucking rageous. Oh, cancel him because of he lightly put some girl to the ground. You don't even know the context of the whole video. You don't know what was happening. You don't know if she forgave him. You don't know. You want his whole career over because of that. You're pathetic. Ezra Miller did his thing in this movie, and he's sick. Cyborg, Ray Fisher himself. Ray Fisher was incredible in this movie. Really, really great performance. Jason Momoa himself as Aquaman. This is the Aquaman I saw. Like, I didn't like the Aquaman movie. I was like, okay, I get it. It's a visual feast. It's a visual spectacle. I get why people like it. I get why it made $1 billion or whatever. But the Aquaman that was in this movie, the story that you could tell the seeds of what James Wan initially envisaged for his Aquaman, and it's so much better. And fucking shout out to William Dafoe's performance as Volko. This is Volko, bruh. That's the Volko from the comics. I'm not a huge Aquaman fan, and I've read like a few stories here and there. I need to still read New 52. I think that this Volko is based off New 52 Volko. But man, what an incredible, it's a completely different performance that William Dafoe does in this movie. And it's so fucking charismatic and brilliant. I love that shit. Kirstie Clements, as I thought, even within 2 minutes of seeing Kirstie Clements as Iris West, it was just, that is Iris West. Spunky, funny, flirtatious, charming, gorgeous. She did her thing in 2 seconds. She made the world fall in love with her. And I love the Flash scene where Flash saves her, and the way he saves her, because he knows that if he just goes and grabs her, I shouldn't spoil. But anyway, you've seen it on in the trailer anyway, but like he does this thing where he's like really careful with how he moves her, because he's moving so fast that if he were to actually just grab her, she'd burn up, incinerate, because of the speed that he's moving at. And it's an incredible scene. Shout out to Connie Nielsen as Hippolyta. Absolutely magnificent. All of the parents in this movie, the parents of the superheroes, were doing their thing. They were showing, this is how you parent, if you're the parent of a god, this is how you parent them. And that's why they grow up into the compassionate, heroes, like the aspirational heroes that they are. Jeremy Irons did his thing as fucking Alfred. Absolutely incredible. Fuck me, Amber Heard is good in this movie, bruh. Don't even tell me Amber Heard wasn't good in this movie. She's incredible. All right, I know her personal life. She might be a bitch. It's the same thing as Ray Fisher. In his personal life, I don't know, some of the things he does, I'm not a big fan of. I think he's a little bit too sensitive, but it's probably that sensitivity that makes him such a good actor. Brilliant in this role as Cyborg. Amber Heard did her thing as Mera. Absolute badass. Diane Lane as Martha Kent. Hallelujah. Finally, we have actual Martha Kent Not going, oh, Superman, you don't owe this world a thing. It's Martha Kent saying the things she's supposed to. And there's one scene that really, really broke my heart with Martha Kent that I'll speak about, or with Diane Lane in this movie. And it pissed me off a little bit because I'll speak about in the spoiler section, but Diane Lane, incredible in this movie. Joe Morton as Silas Stone, my new favorite superhero dad. This is my new favorite superhero dad. Absolutely fucking smashed it. One of the best superhero dads ever. You know that archetype of the father, like, and he's the one who tells you this is because he smashed it. We'll talk about that in the spoiler review. Just everyone down the line. The Justice League were amazing. All of them: Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller. Every single one of them was incredible, but their supporting cast were better. Lois Lane, Amy Adams was incredible. The only one that didn't stand out for me was J.K. Simmons as James Gordon. Just he was good, but I wasn't feeling like. But every single supporting character made their superhero better. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they made, each one of them made their superhero that much better. And you know what? Jesse Eisenberg, I was right about him too. Fucking good Lex Luthor. Fuck you. He was fantastic as Lex Luthor in the little 5 minutes he had. And I don't care what anyone says. Jared Leto as Joker, well, he's good, but like the scene, I'm not really, I wasn't really feeling. Oh, by the way, have to shout out, because this is another parent that did her thing. Every single parent, where is she? Cyborg's mother, where are you? They didn't put Cyborg's mother in the blood. Fucking, let me find out Cyborg's mother real quick, because she did her thing too. She was fantastic as Cyborg's mother, and she needs to get a shout out because she was taken out the original movie, and she shouldn't have been. She was absolutely incredible. Eleanor Stone, Karen Bryson as Eleanor Stone, fantastic, beautiful performance. All in all, as I said, this is a moment for celebration for the Snyder fans. This goes out to Autumn, Zack Snyder's daughter, who committed suicide, passed away. Awful tragedy, but her father did her proud in this movie. And if this is for her, what a brilliant I just can't say enough. This is better than the Dark Knight guys. And if, all right, maybe you can say, it's not quite as good as the Dark. It is better in my opinion, because it's got all these fucking superheroes doing their thing in this, and it's much more emotional. And it's, so if Dark Knight is the standard, it's just been surpassed. But I'll tell you what, if you want to argue me on that, it's definitely better than fucking Infinity War. I'm sorry, it's better than Infinity War. It's better. It is better than Endgame. And this was going to come out in 2017. It's sad. This was going to come out before them, and it would have kicked their ass. Zack Snyder's action in this is the best superhero action of all time. Period. What Flash does in Flash is amazing. I can't believe, because Flash is one of my favorite heroes. Wonder Woman is one of my favorite heroes. The Trinity are my favorite. And the things that they do physically in this movie is, I just wanted to cry. But yeah, so I think I've said everything I want to. I'm not on the restore the Snyderverse train yet. I'm on the keep this universe, but ensure that there's enough different, really good talent to be able to develop this universe. And no, sorry, What happens at the end of this movie, it ruined. It didn't ruin the movie, but it ruined the trust I had with Zack Snyder. I was like, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this. And then I saw this end and what he wants to, the world that he wants to develop and go into. Nah. If you want to do that 5, 6 movies down, sure. But I want to see this Justice League, all of them alive and well and taking on, like, because they're so beautifully together. You want to see them, taking on the Injustice League, doing their thing for at least 3 movies before you do anything too fucking dramatic. The last scene is that it's, that's 4 movies down the line. You need to, you, you need. It's not a bad scene in and of itself. There were a couple of things that were a bit stupid in it, but again, like, you've got the team together, the Justice League together. We want to see these guys for a couple more films together, at least 1 or 2 more films together, fighting, like, something like, whatever it may be, and then bring DarkSide in, like, two or 3 movies down the line, and all of the stuff you want to do around that timeline you can do, but, like, not yet, not yet. And the catalyst for why that happens, why the last scene happens, I don't agree with that as well. So I just think Zack Snyder needs a lot of time to really think about this. Think about why this movie was so good. Really think about, why was this movie so good? Because if you understand why this movie is so good, you can replicate and improve even upon this and make this even better. Because there are flaws in this movie, and I'm going to go into that in the spoiler review. There's a lot of flaws in this movie, but mostly not narrative or dialogue or filmmaking flaws, mostly stuff that is just like, is that really that comic book accurate? And if it was comic book accurate, I think this scene would be better. Everything that remained and retained that comic book accurateness about it was the best stuff about this movie. And but adding with the visual flair of Zack Snyder. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's an incredible piece of work, from the writing to the cinematography to the filmmaking. Even the CGI is quite good, guys. People were saying, like, the CGI was, like, a bit wonky here and there. The CGI is fine. There's maybe one character that the CGI is a bit, like, busted on. But yeah, all right. So that's me. That's my reaction. I will see you guys on the flip side. And love you 3000.